Join Dalton and Jacob as they discuss the ever-changing world of trading card games. TCG Buzz starts now.
What's up, Buzz Squad? It's your boy Dalton, back at it again with the ginger.
I pressed the wrong button. There we go. I'm on screen. Hello, guys. It's been a while since we've live streamed.
Yes.
It's been a break. It was really cold for a while. People were out, and then we both looked like bananas for a little while.
They don't know about that.
Not yet.
They don't even know about me.
No.
Yeah.
But they'll know something about that at some point.
We'll see. So, today, we talking about Star Dragon World and our thoughts on it, right?
That is correct. So we're covering...
Yeah, why don't you lay out how we're going to try to format it?
Okay, so we're covering one of Buddy Fight's worlds. One of the ones we've talked probably the most about our disapproval with. Every Buddy Fight world has problems. This is just one of them, and one we're very passionate about the, issues with.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about it. We're not trying to diss on Star Dragon World fans or anything like that, but we do want to clear the air.
Opinionate
those things.
ourselves.
Opinionate. We want to share the things that we think could have been better with this one. And if you'd like us to do this again with a world you got some problems with, let us know. I think this is something we definitely could do as a series. That would be really fun.
And always come back as like a revision type deal.
Yeah. And if you do want to see us do this with another world, and you hit us up with a super chat, we'll definitely do it.
I like that segue for the super chat.
Yes, because we do have super chats. And you can give us money if you think we're entertaining. No, shit, no one's going to give us money, are they?
Now that you said it,
Uh-oh.
Remember the whole debacle with the whole unsubscribe thing?
Oh, yeah. Tell people to unsubscribe as a joke. They actually do it.
Only Jacob. So, you never really list how we're going to try to format it, really.
Yeah, so we're going to start in the beginning of Star Dragon World, which is kind of weird because we're looking at the past of the future.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's some high-tech stuff, especially with that nice slick fade into me.
I pressed the wrong button.
No, you're supposed to say, I know, right?
Ooh, look at ooh.
All right, enough fun with that.
All right.
All right, so let's start off in the beginning of the future of the past. What is this? Was it 100? No, it wasn't 100. Yeah, it was 100. So 100 introduces Star Dragon World.
Oh, hang on.
Wait, what?
We do have to.
Oh, yeah.
You do it.
Is it the same thing I'm thinking about?
Yes.
The super chat
Yeah.
from Chronicle 26?
Yo.
For just supporting?
We didn't even start.
Start. We didn't really start. It was already there, and we're just like, oh no. Our rituals are all like flustered and stuff and all that good stuff. But thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks. Thank you so much for the support.
Jacob, why do you look so dark?
Me?
And red?
Mm.
I don't know. It just looks like it. I don't know. I could be weird. Yes, take off your blue shirt. It can go into your black shirt to hopefully help you.
Would it?
I don't know.
I had a strip on camera, right?
All right. So back to where it was. And this is how Bushi introduced Star Dragon World, right? Because what? Jackknife's having his whole thing, right? If you remember correctly, please jump in at any time. And they say that they're Dragon World, but in the future. Which my first concern comes from, then why are you your own separate world if you're just Dragon World in the future? Or why is Dragon World still a thing and not just Star Dragon World?
Also a question. Where are all the older archetypes from Dragon World? Where's the Shadow Dragons? Did they all just go extinct?
Right? What? Well, Fifth On is we kind of... No, that's still confusing because then how does variable chord fit into all of this?
So basically, Dragon World gets 2 Omnilords?
3, if you want to get technical. Because Drum was an Omnilord too.
Well, technically, so was Void before he got his horns ripped off.
Yeah, that's true too.
So 4
Dang it, Dragon World, keep it together.
Wait, but also there was that promo card.
No. We
Fine.
do not. No, 4. We do not count that card.
Yeah, I think Roxas put it best in chat. Star Dragon World was supposed to be the future of Dragon World originally, and then they forgot about it.
No, they didn't forget about it. They just said, yeah, screw that idea.
Yeah, they retconned it hard.
And not really.
Let's talk about that start for Star Dragon World.
Yes.
First booster set for it was Galaxy Burst.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, Galaxy Burst. It had 2 triple rares, those being Star Guardian Jackknife Dragon, who was pretty dang strong for when he came out, honestly. His stats were good.
Mm-hmm.
He was simple, but pretty decent.
Yeah.
And Variable Chord, who...
we'll speak on those.
Yeah. But if you weren't around when it came out, Star Guardian Jack was a good card, and the rest of the cards that were out for Star Dragon World could go right into the dumpster. There was nothing playable.
Oh, you were supposed to play Neo Dragons?
Yeah.
Oh. Could have fooled me.
I mean, like, no world is going to be perfect right when it comes out. They're trying to line themselves up with worlds with far, more expansive pools.
Right.
But Star Dragon World's launch, in particular, was really not handled well. And Star Dragon World has caught up card pool-wise and effectiveness and playstyle-wise and everything, but it was a very slow start.
Very slow and very one-dimensional.
Yeah, we'll get into that. Go ahead.
On the one-dimensional thing?
Whatever you want.
Well, there's this monster called Jackknife, who sucks, in my opinion. And then he got his own world. Yeah, that's basically all I have to say about it. I don't know if you got anything over there, or if people are trying to defend Jackknife in chat.
No, I got yelled at for not adding everyone on Discord.
What do you mean?
Telling them we were live streaming, they were missing it. They were missing.
Why you do that?
Yes.
See what I got.
All right, so the character of Jackknife Dragon aside, the argument here is that Star Dragon World was created more so as a marketing gimmick than as an actual serious need for a new world for Buddy Fight. It did some good things when it came out. It kind of completed a trifecta of Dragon Worlds, which was, used heavily in the next season after it came out.
If you ask me, that wasn't needed because you already had the trifecta. But, I digress.
But it was cool. But when it first came out, there really wasn't any reason for it to come out. It was purely to sell more stuff to Jackknife and Tsuku fans. Mm-hmm. And that's awkward. There are a lot of awkwardness with early Star Dragon World. Mm-hmm. The first season with them was very awkward. So you get their big release in the second booster set of the season, which is already awkward because, it's a big new world you're pushing, and you pushed it into the second set instead of the first one. A second set that overall is not very good.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably the weakest booster set of 100.
Well, and I think 2/3 of the Star Dragon World cards were already kind of sucky, so that also doesn't help its case. And what else? And then what?
Also, they did not give you variety. First of all, part of what they did so early on was because Star Dragon World had boosted stats over Dragon World, Darkness Dragon World, at the same level as Hero World, stat-wise. I guess they thought vanillas were important, and they gave us a ton of them.
Well, you see, it makes sense on why, because of the whole gimmick of cross-nizing that they introduced with Star Dragon World, which would have been fine if they would have kept with it later on, but we'll get into all of that. So if it would have mainly have been just vanillas for size 2s and maybe size 3s get an effect, I think I would have been cool with them, you know? And then you obviously have your Drago arms to cross knights into the souls to give them effects, which would make more sense to me, but I digress.
The biggest problem early on is, despite the fact that you have 2 attributes for your monsters, you have either Neo Dragons or Drago arms, they cannot be played independently. There is 1 archetype for Star Dragon World at the time, not 2. Every other world has launched with at least 2 archetypes when they first came out. Dragon World had Armor Dragons and Dragon Knights.
Yep.
Katana World had Skull Warriors and Ninjas.
Why'd you put ninjas second?
I don't know. Ancient World had Dragon Lords and Wild Dragons, right?
Yep.
Every world follows at least 2. I mean, Legend World launched with, like, what, 4?
Heroes, Widers. I know there's
Asgard.
Asgard. There we go. I couldn't think of it. Even though
They
they had
had
very small-
organs as a separate, like,
No, that was still wider.
it's still wider, yeah.
Still wide. There was another one though. There was 4. So Hero, Widers.
Wasn't Olympus a thing for half a minute?
Yeah, the Olympus. That's what it was. That's what it was.
Um,
Got there.
I think that was a really big problem because, one, the main push Neo Dragon deck. You can set variable chord aside for a moment. We'll talk about him in a moment.
Because he doesn't get introduced until later.
But with the base Neo Dragon deck, when it first came out with only Trial Deck support cards and Galaxy Burst, it was not very good.
That was when trial decks were not good to start off with.
No, they were not. Well, Season 1 ones were good.
Well,
was
you're talking about season 1. Well, I digress.
Yeah, we could debate that another time.
Yeah.
Let us know if you guys want to see us rate every single trial deck for Buddy Fight or something.
Just gives all the decks that he's actually bought the highest of grades and all the ones he didn't, the worst ones. Oh no, Jacob, that means 72 pillars. Oh no, I did buy 72 pillars. You're good.
Okay. I think you made me lose my train of thought. So
You're
Jackknife was your only deck. So your next set of support for it, next sets of support was catch-up stuff to try and catch it up to your other decks. You did not have other archetypes for quite a long time. But because of that, it was, here's a better Jackknife, here's a better Jackknife, here's a better Jackknife. Catching him up.
Hey, don't forget about the other better Jackknife. Remember that.
Oh, but what about the other better Jackknife?
Ooh, you're right.
This adds on to the fact that inherently the Neo Dragon playstyle is not, super interesting. The concept of putting drag arms into the soul is pretty interesting, but it's a kind of clunky mechanic, and it inherently doesn't do anything. Your turn.
Early on, yes.
Talk about early Neo Dragon gameplay.
Early on. I don't remember. I never faced any because it was never played.
Also, variable chord was unfortunately
Never playable.
no, not remotely.
Gimmickly, yes.
It was a very fun gimmick deck, but nothing you'd ever want to play competitively.
Yeah, it was
Or
very,
even at locals.
It was a very underwhelming Omnilord deck, but
Maybe if it was released now, it could be okay. But in Season 2?
or maybe if he was a size 3 instead of a 2. But, you know, things happen. What else about Star Dragon World and early on play? Yeah, it just really wasn't doing much. Like, it was either you ran Jackknife or you try to make a gimmick deck, which I don't think really happened until... Because when did Jupiter come out? Was that late 100 or early D?
I don't even know. Oh, the Jupiter barrier?
Yeah.
Late 100.
Late 100?
Wait, Jupiter?
Right? Is it Jupiter or Saturn? It was a planet.
Mars?
No, it wasn't Mars. The monster. The monster that gave you an extra turn when you drop souls.
That's not named after a planet, is he?
I could have swore he was.
I know who you're talking. I think he's in Mikado Evolution. That one's cool, but he was also not super relevant when he came out.
And all the Drago arms were... You had to cross knives from field, not necessarily from hand. So, like, it could have been like the initial MATs, you know, but that didn't happen. The fact of Bushi could have transitioned Dragon World out with Star Dragon World taking its place.
Maybe. I mean,
Which
that's
would have been cool.
controversial, but
It is, but I think that would have worked better. Or not make Star Dragon World and put the future archetypes that we'll get into different worlds. That would make more sense than Star Dragon World. But
I think one of the big problems with Star Dragon, and this isn't just early stuff. We're going to start transitioning to other stuff, but it applies definitely early and later on too. Star Dragon World is the one world that does not have any type of cohesive theme in its gameplay spread between its archetypes. That can be said maybe if you stretch to a few others, but I mean, look at this, okay? Kachina World always has traps, some sort of counter trap focused strategy, regardless of what it is.
right.
Ancient World, there's some sort of focus on size 3s.
That is true. Very true.
Other ones. Darkness Dragon World. Darkness Dragon World usually has a focus on getting around the opponent's defenses.
Yeah. Yeah.
In some sort of way, whether that be shadow diving
Or Spectral
or
Strike.
spectral striking, or
Hashtag bring back
even
Spectral
something
Strike.
as simple as using an alternate win condition instead of having to rely on dealing damage.
Right. Legend World was... We don't talk about Legend World at this point in time.
Yeah, we'll say that for everything wrong with Legend World.
Yeah. Yeah.
For this one, though, Star Dragon doesn't have that. When it first came out, their reason behind it was, like, their explanation was it was all about potential and flexibility, right? You could make your monsters what you wanted them.
Mm-hmm.
And in concept, that sounds awesome.
Right.
But in practice, if you're playing the jack of all trades, you're not good at anything. You're just okay at everything.
Mediocre at best. And what else?
So that concept, honestly, would you say that is carried on in Star Dragon World? I'd say yes and no. I think Astro Dragons fit it decently well. The other major archetypes?
Yeah. Yeah, the other one's definitely not the main one. Neo Dragons, maybe you can argue it, / maybe not, because it ended up being more aggro than anything.
And another part of that is Neo Dragons were doing the Sun Dragon thing before it was cool. They had a serious case of not being able to decide how they wanted to play. You know, you had, I want to be a traditional mid-range deck. No, I want to be a control deck. No, I want to be an aggro deck focused on impacts. No, I want to be a deck focused on putting things from the deck, multiple copies of the same card, into the soul. No, I want to be a size 3 deck again. No, I want to be a size 2 deck. No, I want to be a release condition deck. No, I want to do this. No, I want to be a toolbox deck. On and on for years.
This is true. This is very true.
Now, Jackknife decks can be really cool. Not even counting other Star Dragon World decks, there are a couple really interesting playstyles. The second release condition, Dragon Force, the snowy one, the control-based one, that's pretty cool.
Justice, not Snowy.
Yeah. The one focused on the impact monster that burns, like turning Jackknife into a burn deck, that's kind of interesting.
There was a burning...
Yeah, there was a burn deck for a while.
Whoa.
Jackknife has done a little bit of everything, and for people who like to experiment and whatnot with different playstyles, that's not a bad thing. But you also have to know every time a new interesting playstyle came out, it'll probably never be supported again.
Yeah, fair enough. It was very ADHD and kind of underwhelming at the same time. Because, yes, you're going to have your fans that are going to get drawn to it because Tsuku or Jackknife, which I don't understand either one. Because Drum is the best monster ever. And the Drago arms just kind of seem like they evolved into, I'm really Jackknife's arms now, and never really spread their wealth to everybody else.
Which was weird because that was the point where we were starting to get other Neo Dragon decks.
Exactly.
And that's when they segregated Jackknife specific Drago arms, which kind of is against the purpose of Drago Arms, right? Because at that point, we were getting other Neo Dragon decks. I did say we did not get any new archetypes until X, which is a long amount of time. But we did get other Neo Dragon decks. You had Variable Chord at the start.
Somewhat.
Counts.
Somewhat.
Then you had
Zodiac. Zodiac. I was gonna say multi-turn deck too, but
yeah, somewhat.
And then Zodiac.
You had a couple good generic Neo Dragon boss cards.
Mm-hmm.
There's like Big Bang O or something. Isn't
Was
his
it Big
name?
Bang? Yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
Wasn't there another one?
I don't know. And then you had Balsale. Talk about some lost potential there, am I right?
Well,
They print this card and they make it a Sun Dragon and a Neo Dragon and a Black Dragon.
and support the Sun Dragons and nothing else. Good job, Bushi.
I think the only time anyone ever cross-knized with Balsale was in Neo's Y.
Yeah, I think that's true. At least that's the only time I saw people in our group do it, because it was you.
Yes, and I love doing it, to be granted, but that's the only deck that cared that he was a Neo Dragon. He saw no play at all in Star Dragon World because it didn't work.
See, look
And
at
the same
that.
applies really for Darkest
on,
Dragon.
On that note, Neo's Y, which is obviously Neo Dragons, was used more than actual Neo Dragons in Star Dragon World.
This is 100% true. Like I'm saying, it's not that the cards are bad. There were some amazing cards.
It was
But-
just everything else about it.
We also saw in Season 2 the release of one of my top 5 favorite cards in all of Buddy Fight, that being Antimatter Cloud. An absolutely fantastic card that has been good since it came out. And every Star Dragon deck from the day it came out needs it in sideboard. Because it is so ridiculously good. If you're fighting a size 3 dragon, oof.
Wow.
A size 3 deck, you just win.
Yeah, we're not talking about Legend World, my guy. We're talking about Star Dragon World. Yeah, Antimatter Cloud's great. What's the rester? When a monster's destroyed, pay a life, draw a card and rest, or the card can't stand. Triple rare.
I don't know.
Phantasm something? Crystallization?
Crystallization phenomenon?
There we go. I flipped the C in the
I thought it was
paper.
a secret.
No, it was a triple rare. I know, because I have 3.
All right, so we've talked enough about Neo Dragons. I think I've said Neo Dragon more times in this episode than I've said it in the rest of my life combined. Let's move on to Season 4, when we finally see a brand new deck, a whole new archetype.
Wild Dragons?
Independent.
Oh. I meant Prison Dragons.
And there's the fundamental argument with Prison Dragons. Prison Dragons are good. They were good when they first came out. They had a kind of a gap where they weren't great, but then they got very, very good towards the end of the season. Aesthetically, they look great. Unfortunately,
Also.
Yeah.
Also.
Are you about
Also.
to hit the same thing I'm about
I
to
think
go?
so. I think so. The original border for Star Dragon World was fantastic. It was genius. And then next came around and they changed it for some reason.
I do not like the new border for Star Dragon.
Did they ever really explain why?
No. The old one was nice.
Does anyone know why?
So it's not that the new one's bad looking. It's the fact that it fundamentally does not fit a lot of the decks you'd have in Star Dragon World. The old one's a lot more easy to put with cards, if that makes sense. And it's worse when we get old cards reprinted and they swap the border to the new one.
Or the biggest thing about it is the fact that the actual symbol for Star Dragon World looks so techy and then looks tacky with the new border.
Flag looks just like the basic flag with the new border looks awful. Terrible.
Looks like Jacob almost.
Like the board. Thanks, man. The border fits for Prism Dragons. And you know what? I'd argue it looks okay with Astros, too. But Draw Metal don't need that. Why does Draw Metal, a deck based on cards that are all, white or blue, very little color mixed in, right?
Right.
into the deck with nothing to do with color. Why do they have a goddamn rainbow for their background?
Why do Cosmo Dragoons have this rainbow back?
Excellent point.
And I would argue, why do Astros? But, you also argue for that it's all right with Astros. But I still think tech looking, because then you can put more of a science theme behind it versus crystals and stars. But, that's me.
I don't like the new border. I think it looks great on Prism Dragon cards. Prism Dragon cards, honestly, with the old border would look weird.
This is true. Very true.
But it doesn't fit any other deck. And that's a shame because, I don't know, man. I don't know how they could fix that situation.
You want to know how? They get rid of the Prism Dragon border.
Done. But yeah, go and look at any cards like Starjack Boost is a great example. Any card that was reprinted with the border changed, aesthetically, they fundamentally do not work.
Yeah, they just look weird. And Shining Rain looks extra weird.
Yeah, they do not look good.
Antimatter Cloud wasn't reprinted, so we don't got to worry about that.
It should be.
It should be. But do you want it to be with this border?
No, give us the old border.
There we go.
I think they should do a specials set or even just promos where they give us the old border for Star Dragon World and they give us the original beta border for Dungeon World.
You and that beta border.
I love that border. It's cool. It's a little sad to see the border change, but in the grand scale of things, it's minor. Prism Dragons are a good deck.
Good deck. That are Wild Dragons.
They did not need to exist in Star Dragon World specifically.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing playstyle-wise that means they should be in Star Dragon World. I mean, literally, you could switch the borders on every card in the archetype to Ancient World, and no one would have noticed the difference.
I might have played them then. Who knows? Who knows? Because they definitely seem... Sure, they don't have 100% of the Wild Dragon scheming.
Yeah, no discard effects.
No discard effects. But very heavy. We are wall. We stand here. And it's a size 3 deck. Do I have to say more?
Yeah. That's not the only archetype we got, though. But overall, design-wise, they're fine. And the gameplay style was okay. And they're a good deck.
Yes, they were.
And for our first actual new archetype for, Star Dragon World, it's pretty decent. Mm-hmm. Then we got Cosmo Dragoons.
Praise be Bushi. You did something right here.
Cosmo Dragoons are awesome. Dalton loves their gameplay style, right?
Oh, yeah. Fantastic gameplay style.
I love their naming convention as someone who loves science fiction.
Right.
Right? Super flavorful, super unique. Their gameplay style is something no other deck really does, yet still calls back to Dragon Knights. At the same time, it's awesome.
Right. Now, what world would you say they could have been in?
Any. See, that's the
realistically.
Okay, so here's the problem with them again. They do not need to be in Star Dragon World.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe aesthetically they fit in okay, and I guess the science fiction thing in the name ties them into it. But they could easily fit into Dragon World. They could easily fit into Danger World with how they've gotten more and more aggressive over time.
That would have been lit.
I mean, if you want to focus on their draw and scrying, they could have fit into Magic World.
See, I would have saw Magic World. Because how some people think sci-fi is kind of magic at the same time, it would have worked too.
That's kind of clever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Did they need to be in Star Dragon World? No.
Nah.
Are they a good deck? Yes.
What defines a good deck?
Interesting?
Yes.
I guess.
Yes, because if you say meta,
and at least
unfortunately...
At least somewhat playable.
Oh, they're highly playable. Fantastic. I've OTK'd with the deck, just not against meta decks. That's the point. And they didn't last that long for like... Ooh, excuse me. Support-wise, because what? They came out in Crossing... Crossing... that set...
Bad set.
Came out in that set, which was...
Star Dragon World has a thing with being in bad sets, I guess, because it came out in Galaxy Burst.
Came out in Galaxy Burst. And then what? Did it come out in... Yeah, it came out in the first set for X, which was a good set. honestly.
Then Cosmos get introduced in a bad set. But yeah, that's really all we have to say about Cosmos, isn't it?
They're
Besides them,
fantastic.
kind of getting dropped early. But X had a thing with side decks just getting
Side decks
dropped.
just kind of happening and then disappearing really
Look
fast.
at Shadow Dragons. Look
Okay.
at Mother Dragons. No, I should have
Oh.
said Mother Dragons.
Should have.
They've literally got to nothing.
That would have been a lit deck. That could have done something for what is it? Dungeon Lord? Dungeon Lord. Yeah. No, Demon Lords, my bad.
So then things get quiet again. We still get more support for both those decks.
For
Nothing new. Until X2 is more legacy support. And we get 2, 3, 5 jackknives.
Yeah. Yeah, legacy support for Jack.
And the
Jack.
the Prism Dragons, they get support.
Hey, did Cosmo Dragoons get support?
X2, to be fair, that's the case for every world. X2 was not great, but it did help show off how samey the decks in Star Dragon World can feel, But then we get a new one with the release of Buddy Fight Ace, right?
Oh, Rox, this is arguing for Dragon World and Cosmo Dragoons. Yes, Science-Based Knights, Robotic Dragons, Star Dragon World, but I can see it, but I can also not see it at the same time. There's just a lot of things. It could still work in Star Dragon World, but Star Dragon World just... A lot of the other decks don't fit.
I think
for it.
just by Star Dragon World's fundamental design, it's a lot harder to justify decks existing in it
Right.
than in other worlds. Speaking of which, Astro Dragons.
Astro Dragons.
Astro Dragons. The closest thing I can think to for the fact that they're in Star Dragon World is that they have to do with space. It's more constellation-y space than it is, space stations and robots.
You mean Star Space?
There's the point. Roll with it. Go.
That's basically it. I don't even think Astro Dragons follow any of astrology like that. I could be completely wrong. I haven't really paid attention to them that much.
No, it's a loose theme.
Yeah.
But they could have existed in Legend World if you wanted to follow the star theme.
Yeah, it's not like there was already a star archetype in Legend World or anything like that. But, I digress.
Hey, they can just be in Dragon World.
No, let's not.
I mean, to be fair, though,
please, no.
every single deck you can just say they could just be in Dragon World. I mean, Shadow Dragons. Why aren't they in Darkness Dragon World? There's shadows.
That's an excellent point. But I think Astro should be at least in Legend World, if anything. If Star Dragon World didn't exist. But it does. And Astro's what? They come out kind of underwhelming initially.
They were.
They were still a decent deck. Fantastic gauge and draw engine, but that was all they were, really?
Right. Their big problem was they couldn't hit hard enough.
They don't
hard
hit enough, I think.
Yeah.
Was more of the problem.
And, I mean, from the beginning, I'm saying this deck is not super great right now, compared especially to the other two.
Right.
But it has the most potential of the three, especially if they give them ways to stand things back up or extra attack phases. And we've got that now. And we've got other cool stuff that we couldn't even think of. The deck's pretty solid.
Right. It's a great meta choice, too, if you want to run that deck for regionals or anything like that. I have no gripes, really, against Astro Dragons. I think they're a fantastic archetype. Let's think about it. I'd say I'm fine with the last 3 archetypes that have been introduced into Star Dragon World.
I guess my only problem with Astros would be that they did play it a little safe.
What do you mean by safe?
They didn't really experiment or go nuts. It's like comparing them to the other deck that they should be compared to, LDOs. LDOs are fundamentally something new for Buddy Fight that have not existed before. Astros don't really do any of that.
Which is a more heavy focus on it.
Yeah.
Which also could have... It's fine if you ask me.
I mean, the case can be said for Deity Dragon Tribe as well. They're not fundamentally anything new.
That's true.
but Astros are still pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Then we get another deck.
Ooh, baby.
You remember what I said about Astros not doing something new and interesting and cool? Let's flip that script, and let's take one of the coolest mechanics we've ever seen in Buddy Fight with draw medals, or drag medals as they were called before, but they're draw medals.
Draw medals, drag medals, whatever.
So draw medals, one, they call back to chess stuff.
Beautiful.
Two,
Beautiful.
they do one of the coolest things a deck has done in Buddy Fight ever. They're like on Leviathan levels going, this is awesome. Fundamentally different play style, really cool. They take over the opponent's monster zones. It's so cool. That's all I got.
Yeah.
They had some honestly pretty big power issues when they first came out, but those have been largely rectified with their subsequent releases. They're a very powerful deck, at least at this time.
Mm-hmm.
Will they stay powerful in the future?
Who knows?
Eh,
Who knows?
we'll see.
Knowing Bushi, maybe not. They don't really fit Star Dragon World for
At all?
theming wise.
At all?
Exactly.
Can you point to one thing? I mean, we could point to space
Color.
with Astros, and we could point to sci-fi theme with Cosmo Dragoons. What do you got for them?
Color.
That's it?
Yes. Because it's really just chest. Like this, even though generic worlds technically doesn't have world in its name, but it's still a world. It could have been the first time we had an actual good generic deck.
That would have been so cool. Oh, that would have been so cool.
It would have been fantastic. And then they could have done something with the original chest and done some like mini gimmick in between it. Oh,
Again, though, honestly, let's be fair. The only reason they exist in Star Dragon World is because Astros exist in Star Dragon World, and they were doing the pairing thing.
yeah.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And it has equal reason to exist in literally every other world.
But definitely should have been a generic world.
You could
and
throw it in
releasing
there.
releasing us with a generic flag.
I could make a strong argument for Darkness Dragon World.
I thought you were gonna go with Legend
Yeah, but I went with Darkness
because
Dragon.
chest of old.
Okay. But they fit gameplay style-wise with disrupting the opponent and doing stuff to prevent them from doing things. You know, it hard counters certain decks, stuff like that. Reminds me a lot in that way of like Shadow Dive.
No, you're thinking of the wrong one. You're thinking Spectral Strike.
Maybe.
That would
Or
be
both.
far closer, if you ask me. But what else? Yeah, that's basically the archetypes. Yeah.
Yeah. What's next on our list?
I don't know
let's
what's next
talk
on our
about
list.
This fact. Star Dragon World consistently gets support. It's one of the most supported decks in Buddy Fight.
Ever since 100.
Pretty much since it came out, it's been relatively well supported. There's not one season where they are not a main focus world.
Surprise, surprise.
And it's even more drastic now since Ace started and we've gotten them in every single main booster set, which apparently is not ending anytime soon. I will say there is a problem with that. I feel like Star Dragon World is very much like rolling a dice with support. Feels like half their support is meta-defining great stuff you can play, and half of it will sit in bulk bins forever. There are so many examples of Jackknife Dragon cards that were pushed at triple rare rarity or secret pack or blah, 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 blah that never did anything. The same for Prism Dragons. There are tons of Athoras that are just garbage.
I wouldn't say garbage, just because the best example I could use is with LDOs, because you have the original Agito, then you have the second one, which was instantly overshadowed with the third one, where they never really had their time to shine because Bushi pushed something else out right away that did its job better or was just better.
I also feel like this is totally not factual. This is hardcore opinion, and for this comment, if you feel like getting mad at me about it, that's okay. I feel like the number of fans of Star Dragon World there are is very artificial because Bushiroad has forced it upon us so much. It only naturally, is going to happen like that. There are tons of worlds that see less support than it that have diehard core fans.
I'm still waiting for my Grendel remade.
Right? What's yours?
Grendel, man.
Yeah.
Waiting for that retrain.
You love Legend World.
No. Roxas. No. We're not calling you a fake fan. We're calling the fandom an unnecessary fandom that was forced upon you.
Or just an artificially large fan base, I guess, would be what I'd say. Like, there should be hardcore Star Dragon World fanatics, just like there should be for every world. But I feel like communities like who love Magic World or Katana World or Dungeon or Hero, I feel like they, I guess, earned it a little more by being interesting and yet a little shunned by, Bushiroad.
Right.
Whereas like Star Dragon World is like the kid who was born into a rich family.
Well, no. I got a better one. You have Katana World, Legend World, and Magic World kind of being the older sibling, right? Then you have Star Dragon World being the younger sibling. The parents don't care about the older sibling anymore. They're like, you can survive on your own. And they just shower their baby with all these things type deal. I think that's what you were trying to go for there.
I also feel one more point on the fandom of this. I feel there are some worlds that the general fan base for that world will love them no matter what comes out. I'm always excited to see Magic World, no matter what the deck is, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are Katana fans who will always play the new Katana deck, no matter what it is, right?
Is this true?
I feel like the Star Dragon World community is much more divided, segregated into I love Prism Dragons, but nothing else. I love Neo Dragons, but I don't play any of the others.
Wait. We might get more hate for this, but are you saying it's kind of like Y Swords?
Oh my gosh. Don't say that, please. That's an insult to Star Dragon World.
Whoa. I was just trying to be all nice here. You're the one who went through with all that being nice stuff there. But you could kind of argue that, or even argue, what would be another... What other game has a very specific, like, archetype focus?
Yu-Gi-Oh?
No.
No.
Because Yu-Gi-Oh is very blended.
All right, well, we're getting super off track.
Okay.
Right. I think we've ranted long enough about how much we hate Star Dragon World, right?
Disapprove.
What's something you like about Star Dragon World?
Can you start this one off?
Can I start? Besides the things we already talked about, because we covered a few. I'm always excited to see Variable
Barrelborb
come back. And every time it does, it has like literally the best art in the game.
What does Pope Chicken have to do with anything? I'm sorry, I got distracted with Pope Chicken. It's not Popeye's chicken, so that's why I'm confused.
I think aesthetically, Star Dragon World's pretty nice. Besides the whole border scandal, I think there are a lot of Star Dragon World monsters that look, and to give them credit with that, you would think that being a Star Dragon monster would be very limiting in your aesthetic, but it's not. You have widely different styles used between Prism Dragons and Cosmo Dragoons and Draw Metals.
Mm-hmm.
And I think everyone can find at least a little they like. Your turn.
Cosmo Dragoons.
Wow.
That. And Draw Metal. But otherwise, Astros seem cool, but LDO's got my heart first on that aspect and nothing else. Because it's always felt like Jackknife World to me.
There is an overwhelming presence of Jackknife. Granted, it's, I was going to say, granted, it's kind of died down a little, but no, it hasn't. Why is the only deck that we've ever gotten support for in Ace, in a non-legacy set, that's an older deck, why we get it in that? And why was SBT01, which was really a contained set for new stuff, why did that have a triple rare Jackknife in it?
Don't remind me of that triple rare Jackknife and the SP Jackknife.
That's another thing. Why does Jackknife always take the SP slots? Stop doing that to me. Like, look at the Buddy Lineage set. Jackknife gets another SP. SP like 75 for Jackknife. Do I get one for my Osmodai? No.
Did Drum even get a card? Did Drum get a card in Lineage? Besides the box stopper? You dirty heathens. I see what you're doing here. That's baloney. I want to swear.
There is an overabundance of Jackknife Tsuku fan service because some people are absolutely diehard obsessed. But I do feel Bushiroad knows that and takes advantage of those players. There's a laundry list of Jackknife cards that are terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But they're still going to get sold out at $50 for that SP because I just got to have it for my collection of Jackknives.
You have a collection of Jackknives?
I was saying as the... No.
You sure? Don't lie to me. So what else should I say? Really,
you know what? I do have one more point. I'm sorry. Also, the creation of Star Dragon World and Jackknife being its focus totally burned all those people into Dragon World Jackknife. Dragon World Jackknife gets shafted in comparison.
Who? What? I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Dragon World Jackknife.
How he gets shafted by Star Dragon World Jackknife? I don't know.
There's way less support for it. And when it does come out, it feels like it's token support just because.
Right. And what happened to Tsuku's backstory, They were hyping that up, and they never really followed through with it, besides the fact, he's an orphan that got a buddy rare.
I love how, all the pre-release stuff and whatnot before the game came out made it look like he was the main character. He'd be a fine main character.
He would have been.
Yeah.
He would have been, but he wasn't.
Nope.
Yeah.
No, he was not. You want to outro us?
Outro, huh? So, if you like this, make sure to like. If you didn't like it, dislike it. We just need the feedback. You know what I'm saying? Make sure to subscribe. Hit the bell so you don't miss out on when we go live or anything like that. Let us know down in the comment section if you're watching this afterwards, or if you're still watching in chat, let us know what world we should do next. I saw some Dragon World, but I don't know, I have a feeling we should save that one for last for some reason. There's something about it. Follow us on Instagram. Join our Discord if you want to continue this talk and just utterly destroy us. I can't guarantee I can defend myself because I got plans tonight. But maybe some other day, I can come back at you. Or even just PM us, something like that. You can support us. We have super chats here on YouTube, if you ever want to do that. Thanks again for the $5. We have a Patreon and we have a shop. Jacob, any final words from you?
I am actually really excited to do this again, covering all the worlds. Sure, Star Dragon World's probably my least favorite, but that doesn't mean I can't rant about all the others. I'm pretty good at that. Be on the lookout for next week. We got some fun content coming out, including next week's live stream. Can I share the topic ahead of time? I need your...
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
We're going to be talking about the crossover booster sets for Buddy Fight next week. Not going to give you a specific time just yet, but be on the lookout for that. Also, if you have not done so, go buy a paper Jacob shirt. It would tickle my fancy.
Jacob is an inside job. Figure what they're talking about in there. And above all else, stay classy, y'all.
Thanks for listening to TCG Buzz. New episodes can be found on tcgbuzz.com. Don't forget.
Now exit.